Alright, what is going on, folks? Wrestling Otaku back here on the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC, where the best reviews wrestling, and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here. It is now Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. So I wanted to go ahead and do this video. I'm feeling pretty decent today. Had the day off, rested, all that kind of stuff. So let's just get into it here. I want to talk about this because there was a news story that broke earlier today, and I really do feel the need to address this and just tear this shit to shreds, honestly, because it seems like once again this year, CM Punk, or as I basically coined him earlier this year, CS Punk, that be corporate sellout Punk, decided to take to whatever platform he was on and take another dig, another stab at his former employer, that being AEW. And shit like this, basically what was said here, basically his remarks, give further legitimacy and further credence to that moniker that I gave him, CS Corporate Sellout Punk. So basically what happened was this. Earlier today, there was a report that came out that I saw on Blue Sky and is now being officially reported by, various wrestling news sites. CM Punk was basically asked, now, I'm not sure where this was cited. I'm not sure where this originated from. I don't know if this was an interview or a podcast or whatever kind of video he was on, or whatever kind of, I don't know what the platform or the place was where this took place, or where this exchange took place. But basically, he was on some kind of platform, and he was basically asked about, his time in AEW, I suppose. I guess the question came up. And he was pretty much asked by whoever, if he has any regrets regarding AEW, regarding, anybody that he faced in AEW, or he was basically, he was more or less asked, is there anybody who you didn't get the chance to wrestle in AEW, or anybody who you didn't get the chance to tell a story with in terms of your time in AEW, so on and so forth. And so he responds, and I'm going to try to give the exact quote here, because because it was screenshot. I saw the screenshot initially, and then I saw the reports. And so I'm going to try to remember the whole quote here, okay? So he responded to this question, quote, "No, I actually wasted my time wrestling some of the, I honestly wasted my time wrestling some of those guys," or something to that effect. It is what it is. Some people understand the business, some people don't. Or I wasted some matches on some guys over there. Some people understand the business, some people don't. It is what it is. Honestly, I think everybody over here understands the business, end quote. I'm pretty sure that was his exact wording, almost, damn near. I might be off by like a sentence or two, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said. So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but, and I made reference to this before, this is not the first time this man has taken to an online platform, or just a forum in general, and taken a shot at AEW. He's done it 3 times now. Okay? And I made videos about the previous times. So it's only natural that I make a video about this one. He took a shot on the MMA Hour, right around WrestleMania time, right before, I think it was the week of leading into WrestleMania. He went on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and he talked about his time in AEW, and basically, that's where he took his shots at Tony Khan and so on and so forth. Okay? That was one. Then a couple months ago on an episode of Raw, he took another little sneak diss at AEW regarding, people in the crowd, or there's people on this side of the camera. So that was the second time. And this marks the third time. These statements here with what was reported today marks the third time this year that this man has taken a shot at AEW. Does anybody else see a problem here? Does anybody else see fault in that? And quite frankly, I see those quotes, and I hear about this whole scenario, or this whole thing, where he basically said what he said, and I think to myself, this dude has got to be one of the most pettiest fucking people on the planet. And for anybody who's going to sit there and say, well, you got to understand, oh, he's still mad, or he's still, he's still reeling from what happened, he's still, upset about being, released from AEW and that whole situation, and blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing about that, okay? First off, that happened a year plus ago, all right? He should have gotten over it by now. He's in a new company. He's in a, quote, better spot, right? So why would he need to sit here and harp about a previous promotion or a previous employer if you're in a quote better place? That's number one. Number two, it's like he goes on these tangents or these forums and he says this shit and it honestly, how can I fucking put this? It's like you would think that at this point he would look back on it. He would say, okay, what happened. The past is past. Time to move forward. You can't change the past, right? You would think that, he would be a professional like he's supposed to be and just look and just move forward and just put it all behind him, right? But no, he has to go and he has to take fucking little jabs and little fucking cheap shots. And for anybody who's going to sit here and defend that and say, oh, well, he's bitter about being fired. Oh, well, he's bitter about Tony Khan and AEW, doing this or that, or whatever the case may be. When it comes to the whole, Tony Khan showing the all-in footage or whatever you're going to cite. This is no longer about that anymore. This isn't about Tony Khan. This isn't about him and Tony Khan. He didn't even reference really Tony Khan. This isn't about Tony Khan. This isn't about his thing or beef or whatever with Tony Khan or his grievances with Tony Khan or his grievances with AEW, the company itself. He's taking shots at wrestlers now. He's taking shots at the talents in AEW. Listen to his statement. He literally said, I quote, wasted matches. I wasted some matches on some guys. And they don't understand the business. And people over here understand the business. Who do you think he's referring to? So basically, according to him, if you're reading this quote, if you're looking at this from my point of view, from my standpoint, he's basically saying that he more or less wasted matches on Darby Allin. He wasted matches on Jon Moxley. He wasted matches on MJF. He wasted matches on Hangman Page. He wasted matches on Ricky Starks. He wasted matches on Samoa Joe and whoever else he wrestled. I don't know the full list of, the guys he wrestled during his time in AEW, but those are the main names that come to mind. So basically he's saying in so many words, he wasted matches on those guys. Really now? You're going to be that fucking petty to take shots at coworkers from your previous employer, from your previous promotion? And then he has the nerve, the audacity to sit here and say they don't understand the business or, oh, some understand the business and some don't. Dude, who the fuck are you fooling? They don't understand the business. I'll have you know that a lot of those guys that you literally just dissed pretty much have been wrestling just as long as you have. And they have just as much passion and they put as much of themselves into the business than you ever have. You're the one who fucking walked out for 7 years. These guys were busting their ass. These guys here, they do nothing but wrestle. They do nothing but think about wrestling. They're not trying to get into other venues of entertainment like you are. So no, they don't understand the business because they're fucking wrestlers. They're not sports entertainers or whatever business you're fucking referring to. But it damn sure ain't pro wrestling because I'll tell you something right now. They understand it just as much as fucking you do. They've been a part of the business and they've been working and wrestling in the business just as long as you have. So that is so goddamn petty, dude. It was so fucking petty for him to say that shit. That was such bullshit, man. And initially when the whole thing happened, when he was released from AEW after the whole All-In incident from 2023, and everybody said what they said, and then he eventually came to WWE, he debuted at that year's Survivor Series, I was one of the ones who said, you know what, I don't like the situation. Both sides were equally guilty for what happened, but I wish CM Punk the best. I hope he does, I hope he does what he does. I hope, I basically wished him well for the, whatever it is he does going forward, being WWE or wherever. And I tried to keep an open mind and objective when it came to it. When it came to that whole thing. But then ever since he's been in WWE, all this year, all he's been doing is fueling the flames of this AEW hate bandwagon. That's all he's been doing since he's been in the E. That's all the fuck he's been doing. That's all the fuck he's been doing. And then he's going to have the nerve to say, oh, well, people over here, everybody over here understands the business. Yeah, okay, sure thing, Punk. Sure thing. Keep kissing ass. You're basically showing that he's nothing more than a fucking corporate stooge now. He's nothing more than a WWE corporate stooge shill. That's basically all he is now. He is a shell of his former self. He is a shell of the man that he once was. And like I said, I tried to be objective and give him the benefit of the doubt and try to give both sides the benefit of the doubt when he parted ways with AEW initially last year and say both sides are at fault, but hopefully both parties can move on. But with all these fucking remarks he's making against the companies here, in this most recent situation, quite frankly, he can go fuck himself. With these remarks, CM Punk can honestly go fuck himself. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks that. And I guarantee you, seeing the exchanges, seeing people react to this on Blue Sky, I'm not the only one who thinks that. You want to sit here and say that, oh, you wasted some matches on some guys? Well, guess what? There's a bunch of stuff that was wasted on you too. 1.5 years, 2 years worth of storylines and worth of build and worth of matches, 2 fucking AEW World title reigns, and an entire show was wasted on you. And it's not a situation where, oh, Tony Khan just added you on and didn't do nothing with you. And when you were on, you weren't used properly. He basically gave this guy almost damn near everything. Every single advantage, every single concession. He gave him fucking creative control. He gave him all kinds of power within the promotion. He gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted, pretty much. He was one of the top names there. It's not like he was just some random guy on the side just collecting a paycheck and he wasn't being used or being appreciated. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. The whole reason Collision, AEW Collision, the whole reason that show even exists is because of CM Punk. The whole concept of it being Tony Khan created a show, partly because, again, the network, network negotiations, they wanted another show. They wanted another 2-hour show for, to be broadcast for AEW. But the whole concept of that show was created on the basis that CM Punk would be given that show and be given free reign to do whatever he wanted on that show. Because at the time, there was backstage turmoil, there was a split locker room, and all these fucking reports of negativity and toxicity, and a split locker room where half the locker room wanted CM Punk, the other half hated him, and all that shit. And there was talks of a brand split. There were talks of splitting the roster in half, and one half goes to Collision, the other half goes to Dynamite. You don't hear that anymore. You don't hear any talk of a brand split now that he's not there, ironically enough. But this dude literally had an entire show created solely for him. Solely for him. And he had free creative control, free reign to do whatever he wanted on that show. That's what he was given. And nobody else, he himself fucked that up. You had the shit that happened at All Out with the post-media scrum and all the fucking fallout from that, and they took a bunch of time off with that, and he was hurt, he was injured, because, he banged up his ankle, his knee or whatever, and he took however long, almost a year off with that. He comes back, and we're thinking, okay, he's, that's the past, he's going to move on, so on and so forth, and then what happened at All In with the whole Jack Perry situation. And it's like, what do you expect AEW to fucking do? What do you expect Tony Khan to do at that point? It's like the second infraction against him in fucking within a year span. You had the shit that happened at All Out at the post-media scrum, and then you had the All In situation. It's like AEW and Tony Khan at that point had no choice but to let him go. They had no choice but to get rid of him. It wasn't a matter of, because I hear people saying, oh, well, he chose Jack Perry over CM Punk. No, he did what he had to do. Tony Khan did what he had to do in that situation. CM Punk put himself in that position. And like I said, there are two sides to it. I think Jack Perry and the Elite had something to do with it too. They're at fault as well. But CM Punk did what he did, and he had to be ousted. He had to be kicked out after that. There was no coming back from 2 instances in a calendar year. And you already had people within the media basically calling for his job, on top of all the, quote, backstage, controversy, turmoil, and this, that, and the third in the split locker room, all those reports. So basically Tony Khan's hand was forced. He had to get rid of him. So what the fuck do people expect? What do you expect Tony Khan to do in that instance? What do you expect Tony Khan to do in that situation? Seriously. But for CM Punk to sit here and hold a grudge against that for as long as he's holding it, something that happened over a year ago, and he's still taking shots at AEW to this point, it is fucking petty. He is fucking petty for that shit. And like I said, if anybody excuses that, if anybody gives that a pass, you are just as bad as him. You are just as bad as anybody who is fanning the flames of this AEW hate bandwagon. Because, CM Punk, you're going to sit, I'm sure there's going to be eggheads in this fucking community who who are going to sit there and they're going to fucking celebrate this and they're going to praise it like, yeah, CM Punk exposed AEW again, like the fuck you do. But but imagine if the shoe was on the other foot, for instance. If CM Punk was still in AEW and he had made remarks about this about WWE, or if it was somebody in AEW in general who said shit like this about WWE, you motherfuckers would have a fucking field day on here. You motherfuckers would go ape shit on this fucking site and on social media in general. Because, oh, there AEW goes again. AEW takes shots at WWE. Always talking about AEW talents taking shots at WWE, right? But when the reverse is true, but when the opposite happens, when it's WWE taking shots at AEW, that's fine and dandy, right? That shit annoys the fuck out of me and is indicative of the kind of community that this is. And it's one of the things that I cannot stand is the double standard in this fucking community. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Guys like CM Punk should be called out for this. I said this the previous 2 times he took shots at AEW. You want to sit here and you want to belittle and fucking criticize and talk down to AEW and you want to fucking go at AEW when their talents take shots at WWE and say, oh, you need to focus on your own promotion. This, that, and the third. Why the fuck can't you say that about CM Punk? Why don't you call out CM Punk in the same light? Why is CM Punk not being called out for this? For people on that side who want to sit there and criticize AEW when they take shots at WWE, but when the opposite happens, you don't say nothing? You don't say anything? That's called a double standard, buddy. That's called a double standard. Shit like this is ridiculous, man. And the fact that it's still happening to this day, we're in mid-November, almost the end of 2024. And this man is still taking jabs at AEW to this point. He is fucking petty and he needs to be Whatever happened to him being, quote, on his best behavior? Whatever happened to that? Remember when CM Punk was initially signed and all the reports were coming out saying, oh, he'll be on his, quote, best behavior? What happened to that shit? Him taking shots at a rival promotion openly, publicly, that's being on his best behavior? That's allowed? That's excused? Fuck out of here, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Just the audacity of this fucking man to say some shit like that. To take jabs at people who fucking bled, sweat, and did everything and sacrificed their lives and their careers to make this business what it is today. To make pro wrestling what it is today for us, for the fans. And he's going to take shots like that? Fucking petty, dude. So, in regards to this whole thing, in regards to these remarks, CM Punk can go F himself. And anybody who excuses that shit, you're just as bad. You can go F yourself too. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And this shit doesn't get called out. Not a single time does this shit get called out. It didn't get called out in March when he did it. It didn't get called out a couple months ago. And it's likely not going to be called out here. I'm seemingly the only one in the community who holds WWE to that standard. I'm the only one in the community who does this. Literally the only one. When something like this happens, when a WWE talent takes a shot at AEW, I am literally one of the only ones who calls that shit out. You're going to sit here and hold AEW accountable when they do it, but you're not going to hold WWE accountable when they do it? That's a fucking double standard. And it's wrong, and it's bullshit. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. CM Punk can go F off. CM Punk can F off at this point. Like, that was so fucking petty. That was so poor in taste for you to sit here and take shots at fellow wrestlers. Guys who you worked with. Guys who you wrestled. Guys who you took time with. Who took time with you to make AEW what it was at that point. And then you're going to fucking throw them under the bus like that? Like, F off, dude. Fuck off. Seriously. My God, man. It's a goddamn shame. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I am so fucking disappointed in that, dude. I'm so fucking disappointed in CM Punk at this point. Like, it is astounding just how much this man's demeanor has changed in the last couple of years. It is really astounding. It really is. It really is sad to see how fucking low he has sunk. How fucking much of a corporate stooge he's become. It's really fucking sad. It really is. But yeah, so pretty much all I gotta say for that, man. So I wonder what the talents in AEW think about this. You're likely not going to hear anything publicly, because if they do respond publicly, you motherfuckers are going to grill them for it. They have every right to respond. This guy's going to sit there and openly take shots, and AEW's not allowed to, these guys, these talents who he's clearly talking about, they're not allowed to retaliate? The fuck kind of biased ass shit is that? If WWE's going to sit there and take shots, AEW talents have more than every right to respond. But they're likely not going to, because they're more than likely they're more likely told by AEW management and such, don't respond to it, so on and so forth, which is the right thing to do. But WWE doesn't do the same thing. WWE is allowed to take shots all they want. How's that fair? How's that right? Fucking bullshit, and you know it. But yeah, seeing that being said by this man at this point, honestly agitate the fuck out of me. Like, he can F off. Like, simple and plain, he can F off. And anybody who defends this, you're just as bad as him. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. But anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this story. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on this whole scenario and this whole situation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support I can get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. I really don't have much else more to say about it. CM Punk, done. Honestly, done with him. Honestly, done with him. I never thought I'd say that. Never thought here in 2024 going into 2025 would I say that CM Punk has officially become a corporate sellout. I never thought I would say that. Then again, I didn't think Cody Rhodes would do what he did either. But that's the times we're in, I guess. People are going to stooge out at the expense of fucking every fan and everybody who supported them in the past. Oh well, sucks to be them, I guess. Oh well, you know, whatever. Unbelievable, dude. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you for watching. Got more content coming in the future. But for now, I'm going to sign off here. I pretty much said everything I needed to. So thanks for watching again. Till next time, Otaku, I'm out for now. See you guys later. Peace.